Hello, it's Dr. Rhonda Johnson. Today is Monday, October 19th, 2020, and I'm going to be talking about COVID-19 testing. Today, I got a COVID-19 test as part of community outreach from one of the local federal qualified health centers here in the Pittsburgh area and the Faith-Based Health Collaborative, a organization of local area churches. I got tested at my local church. And the test I got is a PCR test, a SARS-CoV-2, that's the virus that causes COVID-19. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction test, a test which amplifies the virus so that it can be detected. It was an easy test. It's first of all, the PCR test is the gold standard. It's the most reliable. And the test that I got was designed for people who have symptoms within 14 days of symptom onset. Now, let me set the record straight. I have a slight cold, but I don't think I have COVID-19. But I didn't feel unethical about getting the test, and I'll tell you why. So here's what happened. I coughed 5 times into my mask, and then I swabbed my mouth with a Q-tip. It was an oral secretion swab in 5 places, inside both cheeks, the top of my tongue, underneath my tongue, and the roof of my mouth. No pain, no suffering. It wasn't any different than brushing my teeth, and I should get the results back in 2 days. So why do you think I'm telling you this? Because many people are fearful of getting tested for COVID-19. So I'm sharing my experience so that if you think you need to get tested, you will go get tested also. Now keep in mind, testing for COVID-19 won't identify 100% of the people that have this virus, because what we know now about COVID-19, there's intermittent viral shedding, meaning there are times when the virus replicates inside your body and is released into the environment. So even an infected person could test negative if they're tested at the wrong time. So testing, I think, is very important, and we should be doing testing, and more testing to help stop the spread of COVID-19 so that we can get our lives back to almost normal. Testing has to be part of the strategic plan of our country and the world for slowing the spread of this virus. Now, we've seen it done before. South Korea was one of the most infectious places for the virus in the world. But then that country started mass testing. Now it's the model for how you can stop the spread of the coronavirus. We must always remember that this virus isn't just being passed along by sick people. In fact, people who have very mild symptoms or no symptoms are actually behind mostly all of the spread of this virus in the community. A lot of people with COVID-19 will never see a doctor because they never get that sick. But yet they can sicken others because this virus is so highly contagious. So given the number of people with this virus in our country, we need to deliver a lot of tests. We need to test a lot of people so people can find out if they're mildly infected, and they can isolate themselves, and the people who they've been exposed to can quarantine themselves. Folks, this is how we're going to stop the spread of this virus until we get a vaccine. Test, quarantine, and isolation. This virus only multiplies and replicates in people. People are the link to this virus, and we have to change people's behavior. So let's look at a successful example of containing COVID-19 here in this country. Look at the NBA. They were together in a bubble in Orlando. They got frequent testing. They changed their behavior. And guess what? There wasn't a single case of COVID-19 in all the NBA players once they went into the bubble. Now, I'm not saying we can all live in a bubble. In fact, most of us can't live in the bubble because we're going to have to find a way to live with this virus. But we can see what difference the actions of the NBA took versus Major League Baseball. They struggled with COVID infections and game cancellations. And the National Football League is also dealing with COVID-19 outbreaks. But again, testing is making a difference. They're testing and doing more testing. So folks, take advantage of testing in your community when you can. Now, the group that I got my test through is going to be testing more. So on Wednesday, October 21st, at Petra International Ministries, they're going to be offering free COVID testing from 2 to 4. That's Wednesday, October 21st, at Petra International Ministries from 2 to 4. On Thursday, October 22nd, the same group is going to be testing at Calvary Baptist Church from 11 to 2 p.m. and at Mount Airy Church from 1 to 3 p.m. No appointment is needed. All you have to do is show up, bring a photo ID if you have one, wear your mask, and don't eat and drink for 20 minutes prior to the test. So again, test to see if you're infected so you won't pass on this virus to somebody else. This is Dr. Rhonda Johnson. My views are my own. I hope that's been helpful for you. Stay safe, continue to wear your mask, distance, and wash your hands, and stay alive, and stop COVID-19 before it stops you.